Welcome back and welcome to the part 2 of the video. So we are on number 14, and number 14 on this particular list is Scentedelic's take on Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomade called as Forbidden Practice. Now this particular fragrance is a dark masculine kind of a fragrance, excellent for winters. Now this has got notes of rose, incense, leather and oud, but the way it is kind of made is it's a very dense dark fragrance like I said, and projects like crazy, easily 3 to 4 feet and easy 10 to 12 hours of lasting. It's a very dense masculine kind of a fragrance, excellent for social gatherings, weddings and parties. It's a very different approach on the rose oud combo, works excellent for nights. So this is number 14. This is from the house of Scentedelic called as Forbidden Practice, the take on Louis Vuitton's Ombre Nomade. Now number 15 is Oud for Glory. Okay, now Oud for Glory, this is a take on Initio's Oud for Greatness, and I got to experience this on the other day on the Frag Meet, the OG one, and when I smelled the OG and this is absolutely close, so very close to each other. I will do a separate video for it, but the primary note on this particular fragrance is oud. You get a little bit of that sweetness, you get a little bit of that ambriness and a little bit of that leather, but the way this particular fragrance works is fantastic. It lasts like crazy, it projects like crazy. So if you wear it on your apparel, if you do about 4 to 6 to 8 sprays, it will be there even after you wash the apparel 2-3 times. You will still be able to smell it. When you iron it, you will be able to whiff that particular fragrance. That good is the lasting on this one. The projection also is very good. So it's got a very beautiful oud, which is very mellow, very nice, not very loud animalic kind of thing. It's a very sweet kind of a oud, and I really like this particular fragrance. It works really well if you want to wear a oud fragrance for weddings and something like that, especially for evening wear. This will do really well. So you can either consider this or you can definitely consider the Amethyst as well. Now this is a take on Initio's Atomic Rose, but the one thing that I see different in this particular one is the note of oud, which is not there in the Atomic Rose. So because of that, when you put it on, the initial opening kind of looks same for both of them, but as it goes down in the dry down, you start smelling the rose, and the rose is really good. I will do a detailed review about it. So again, you should be able to get both of these in the ballpark figure of about 1500 rupees roughly. A partial would easily be less than that, so definitely can consider. Both are excellent performers, and just look at the artwork on this particular bottle. The presentation is dope. So this is Oud for Glory. You have the OG, which is the Oud for Glory, and then you also have the Amethyst as well. So both of them are good buys at at the price point. Number 17 on this particular list is the take on Kilian's by Kilian's Angel Share. Now by Kilian's Angel Share has got cognac, it's got praline, it's got vanilla, it's got a little bit of that sweet element to it as well. So the fragrance is really good. I have a lot of oils of these. I am going to do a full comparison, but right now I don't have the OG. But from what I can tell you, Hypnodancer from the house of Scentedelic is a very good take. I also have the one from Muzna, I have one from Yasmin, I have one from Perfume card. I think I have a lot of the versions of this, but I also have the Lassafa Cambra as well, but Lassafa Cambra cannot fit into this category because of the price tag. This I think still should be able to, with discounts you should be able to get it around the 1500 price point, and a partial you will get it for much lesser for sure. So this has got really good scent profile. It's got that little bit of that sweet element, it's got that cognac element as well, so works really well, projects well, easy 6-7 hours on skin, projects up to 2 to 3 feet easily, and definitely a gourmand fragrance to add in the list. By the way, there is going to be a separate gourmand fragrance list that I'm going to make, and you will see a lot of gourmand fragrances only in that. Right now in this particular list, I'm doing a mix of leather and I'm doing oud and all of that, so this is another gourmand fragrance to add to this list. This is Hypnodancer, a take of by Kilian's Angel Share from the house of Scentedelic. Number 18 is Grey Vetiver oil from the house of Muzna Fragrances. Now you must be thinking, why am I adding a Vetiver fragrance for night fragrances? Now this has got orris butter, it's got Vetiver, and it's got a little bit of the citrus element as well, but the orris butter, and I think it's also got lavender, so because of which the scent profile that you get is really smooth and very different. So it works really well for night as well. So the performance is anyway very nice, but the scent profile itself is fantastic of Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver. So I think even for winter wear, this grey vetiver makes for a fab option, lasts really long as well, and projects also really well. So I've been very happy about getting this particular partial for less than 1k, and it performs like crazy, and I think you should definitely consider this as a very good alternative for Tom Ford's grey vetiver. We'll do another video for this one as well to look at other grey vetiver option. I've heard Piyush by Tanzu Fragrance's grey vetiver also is very good. I'm getting a couple of more as well, but I think for now this is a very good option for winter wear. So because of that orris butter, this really makes for a very good option. Orris butter vetiver, really good option for winter as well. Number 19 on this list is Prada L'Homme Intense Alt by the house of DK, and I had a full vial and I think I've exhausted. I'm literally at the drop of it, but I've ordered a full 100 ml because of this beautiful fragrance this is. I was so surprised by the scent profile. This is got tonka beans, this has got leather, this has got nutmeg, and this is just amazing. And the DK's alt is so very good, so very powerful in terms of performance, lasts like at least 6 to 7 hours, projects 2 to 3 feet easily. So I've ordered an entire 100 ml for it. So but I think this makes for a fab winter wear because of that note of iris, leather and tonka beans make it for a fantastic fragrance. You get a scent profile of sweet element, you have that leather element, but then there's a bit of that ambriness to it also. So in terms of winter, this will work really well, and you should definitely try this. When I get the full bottle, I will do a full video about that or a full review about it. But DK's alt of Prada L'Homme Intense is fabulous. So this is, I think, number 19. Number 20 on this list is my recent find from the house of Jacques Bogart. This is One Man Show, the Oud edition. Now this was a fabulous find because this I kind of mentioned how I got this particular fragrance, but this is very simply defined as simple and yet beautiful. This is predominantly leather and oud only, but the leather and oud is very linear, very mild, very beautiful. It's got a little bit of that sweet element to it, it's got a little bit of that depth into it, and it carries for long. This is a performance beast. It lasts easy 8-9 hours and it projects for about 2 to 3 feet easily. In fact, I'm saying modestly 8-9 hours. It will be there on your apparel for much longer, and a full paisa vasool kind of a fragrance. So if you're able to get this around 1500 rupees or 1600 roughly, you should definitely consider getting this. This is a fabulous buy from the house of Jacques Bogart, One Man Show Oud edition. So even if this is slightly a little more than the 1500, you should try and get this at a good deal or maybe a good partial. You should definitely be able to get that under 1500 or so, but makes for a fabulous fragrance. That leather note and the oud is just amazing. It's got a citrus element also, but then that citrus element is really at the background, you don't really get it. But it's got that sweetness to it. So amazing fragrance. I will be doing a full review of this one as well very soon. Number 21 on this particular list is one of my first purchases of Latafa. This is Ragbha, and this is such a fantastic fragrance. This is basically oud, sugar, burnt sugar, caramel, vanilla. The vibe that you get, it's also got leather, but the vibe that you get is a very beautiful, sweet, loving fragrance. This fragrance will only get you compliments. This is a take on 24 cent story, so this is really very well done. This used to be about 800-900 rupees for an entire 100 ml, including I think the deo that comes along with this, but maybe now a little more than that. But if you're able to get this, you should definitely try this. This works fabulous during winters. The caramel, burnt sugar caramel vibe, the leather, the oud that is there, that makes for a wonderful fragrance. That sweet note is awesome. I mean, this is just one of those fragrances that I really fell in love with from the time I sniffed, and this is a blind buy that I did, but I'd sniffed 24 cent story, so I kind of knew what I was going to get. But that's a little more denser, a little more towards oud. This is more leaning towards caramel and sugar and that kind of thing. So if you really look at it, this is more of a oud and sugar caramel kind of a note profile. Excellent option for sub 1500 rupees. Number 22 on this particular list is Latafa's Qaeed. Now this, oh man, what a lovely fragrance this is. This has got oud, primarily a very strong oud. It's got cinnamon, it's got cardamom, it's got spice elements, but primarily if I were to just categorize it and say this is a oud, cardamom, cinnamon kind of a fragrance. The scent profile is very nice. So this is quite a strong, very masculine kind of a fragrance. If you do about 4 to 6 sprays, that's enough. This will last for easily about 6 to 8 hours time, easy. And even in a humid condition, this will last really well. Projects easily 3-4 feet. Okay, so fabulous. Just look at the juice color on this one and look at the presentation. Some call it tacky. I think this is fabulously done. This is one of the underdogs of Lathafa fragrances. This is really beautiful. Fragrance, and in terms of the oud, it's really nice. So the oud in One Man Show is, while it's very mild, here it's a little louder, and that cardamom and that cinnamon note make it very nice. It's got that little bit of that sweetness to it, but it's more of on the amber side of it things. So it's a very beautiful fragrance, works extremely well for winter, and lovely bottle for about 1200-1300 rupees. If you're able to get this, you should definitely consider this. This is Lathafa Qaeed from I think this is a take on I think it's Dunhill's Icon. I'm not too very sure. I think I've heard, because the bottle looks very much like that. But either ways, you can definitely consider Lathafa Qaeed for a beautiful cardamom, cinnamon and oud note. Number 23 is Charuto Tobacco Veni from the house of Pandora Scents, and now this is an alt of Tom Ford's Tobacco Veni. Now this is a very simple but yet elegant fragrance. This is basically got tobacco leaf and vanilla, but that scent profile is just amazing. It's a profile that you will love. It's a profile that you can associate yourself wearing a tuxedo or suit, and you're going out for a wedding, you're going out for a party. You want people to know that you're wearing something complicated, but at the same time something that can get you a lot of compliments, and lovely sweet profile, amazing scent profile. If you're looking for a good alt of Tobacco Veni, I think this is definitely one of them. And you get this for a very good price point. I think about 1100-1200 rupees. You get a fabulous bottle of this. Just look at the build quality of this bottle, really nice, and the scent profile is good. The only thing is, I would say the lasting might not be like mega 8 hours or so. This could be about 4 to 5 hours at best. While in the first couple of hours this will project really well, and then it kind of goes down to that talcum powdery kind of a dry down. But as a scent profile, this is very close to Tom Ford's Tobacco Veni, but in terms of lasting might not be that great. But overall, a very good buy for the kind of price tag, and for winter this will work really well. So this is number 23. This is Charuto Tobacco Veni from the house of Pandora Scents. Number 24 is a popular fragrance, needs no introduction. This is Lathafa Asad. Now this particular fragrance has got licorice, it's got tobacco, it's got nutmeg, it's got amber, and I think that licorice is what makes this particular fragrance really good, with cinnamon and amber and nutmeg. While this is an alt of Dior Sauvage Elixir, this for me it has got a very sweet element. It also has got a little bit of that boozy element, a little bit of that vanilla kind of a vibe as well, but I think that could be because of licorice and nutmeg. Lovely fragrance, works very well in the winters, and it's again a sweet kind of a fragrance. You can't categorize this as a gourmand fragrance. I would say a little spicy element kind of a fragrance, but then really works excellently well. Now the Sauvage Elixir itself is a little more ambery. It's not that very sweet, but I think this is a little more sweeter that that way. So I think works very well, really performs easy 6 hours on apparel at least, and projects at least 2 to 3 feet. Some people have complained that it doesn't perform. Maybe if it's too humid it doesn't, maybe if it's an indoor wearing or in a colder environment, it really works well. And for the price bracket that you can get a partial for about 1200 or 1300 rupees, this is an excellent buy. I think 1700-1800 rupees you should get a full bottle also, which is still a not bad option at all. So this is Lathafa Asad and take on Sauvage Elixir, beautiful fragrance, and this particular bottle is also like really nice, good bottle. Number 25 is this is the Gentleman Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee, and this particular fragrance has got iris, it's got whiskey as the main two notes. So it's got a very boozy element, it's got a very sweet element to it, it's got cinnamon also. So it's a very nice kind of a fragrance. And what I really like is the way this particular fragrance works on your skin, and the way it projects is really nice. The performance is average, I would say about 5 to 6 hours at max maybe, but then the scent profile is really good. So two also I can definitely suggest. One is the Albeit one, also which is very good, and there is another one from the house of Tanzu Fragrances. This is also Givenchy Gentleman. This is also good. The thing about this is this has got a little bit of a harsher opening at the beginning, okay, but the dry down is pretty much like this. This is a very nice DNA. If you like this kind of a boozy whiskey, Oris, that kind of a DNA, this will work really well. So it's a fantastic wear for evening. This is a very low partial. I also have another decant of the same one, so I kind of got this because of the way this bottle looks. It looks really nice. So this is number 25 of the 25 fragrances that I was thinking to talk to you about, and I have one bonus fragrance that I thought I should just give you a heads up. So this is Gulkand from the house of DK. Now this I bought in because this has got sandalwood, it's got light rose, but it's a very gentle, profound kind of a fragrance, especially very good for evening wears, meditation, that kind of thing. It works really well in winters. So if you want to consider as a bonus option, you can consider Gulkand as well. So this you should be able to get for about 800 to 1000 rupees for 50 ml. Givenchy Gentleman, I think you should easily get about 50 ml for about 750-800 rupees. I'll put in the details. A little difficult to remember all of the price points, but this one also works really well, projects well, performs also well. You get about 4 to 5 hours of projection, lasting. Projects about 1 to 2 hours, but the DNA is pretty good. Just that the opening is a little more harsher, and this is a little more softer. So aside to that, this is really nice. So there you go. So this was my ultimate list of 25 fragrances for winters, and I think this is a good way of also showing that there are a lot of options here that you can consider, from leather, from tobacco, from boozy element, from gourmand, even from rose and oud combinations as well that go very well at night. So this has been my collection of 25 fragrances for winter, part 1 and part 2. If you like the kind of content that I bring, please like and subscribe, and show some love, put in your comments, and really engage, and that will really help out. The next videos that are coming out will be one video specifically for gourmand fragrances, one will be a premium gourmand line, and one will be a budget friendly gourmand line as well. So those two videos will come out, and a lot of other stuff is coming out. So stay tuned, subscribe, take care. Thank you so much. Bye now.